Hello, today we are going to see three ways to get free electricity in house. So the first method is solar. So solar panels are generally installed on the top of terrace, and it is also consumed, the electricity of the solar is consumed in two ways. So the first way is solar panel with inverter and battery. So this is the most way which we use. So solar panel which is connected to a distribution box, and this connects to the inverter so that the inverter gets power to charge the battery instead of connecting it into the direct mains which comes from the electrical substations, which saves electricity. So the solar panel is connected to the inverter. So as it is connected to the inverter, it will gain energy and voltage which charges the battery. So the battery is charged with the help of sunlight, whereas this battery doesn't get charged at the night. That is due to night we do not get any light, although we get somewhat light if the moon is available, but that light is not enough to charge a battery. The power of solar panel, the output comes when the sunlight is available, and this charges the battery daytime and gives backup at the night if the power is not available. And as we can see here diagram, solar DC distribution box to the inverter, then comes our battery, which may be it based on the type of inverter and solar. It may be 12 volt, 24 volt. 24 volt, the either the battery actually doesn't be of 24 volt, we need to connect to the battery in series. It may be 36 to 48 volt also. That is based on our load, right? So this is about solar panel with inverter and battery. Now let's see solar panel without inverter and battery. So we know that in this case only AC appliances can run, although we can take direct output from here to run in DC, but mostly from the solar DC distribution box the inverter charges the battery, so we cannot use any DC appliances by the output of inverter. The AC appliances work such as basic appliances in our home, fans, lights, TV, refrigerator, etc. That is also dependent on the wattage the output of the inverter gives. Next, solar panel without inverter which gives DC loads only. This is the main point here. DC loads means this is not connected with any inverter or anything battery. This is generally used very less purposes because DC current uses are very less in home. Whatever the appliances we find in our houses is TV, light, fridge, these are designed to take AC current, although inside the circuit may convert the current AC to DC, but most of the appliances are will run on AC current only. So if you are using it for any experiments, projects, or daily working instruments which run on DC current only, we can install solar panel. It will generally, we will have the solar panel voltages from 12 volt to 48 volt. The voltages may vary based on the model you select. So here also similar, in this solar DC DB we will have a diode connected, although the diode is not connected always based on the reverse polarity problem. So if we are taking direct DC output load, for sure we should connect a diode. Diode is an appliance that the diode is a component that ensures the current to go in one direction only, it doesn't reverse. That is the concept of reverse polarity. So from solar DC distribution board the output comes, and if here we use any converter, a buck converter which converts from high voltage to low voltage, we can adjust appliances based on any voltage controller or a speed controller. So this, for example, if this outputs 48 volt DC, we can convert it using a converter which is DC to DC converter, and we can run the appliances which works on DC, such as LED lights, not the filament one, because they will not run on this low DC voltage. Some fans also run on 12 to 24 volt. And DC TVs, the TVs may be running on direct current, but some TVs also have back option to connect 12 volt DC external supply. DC pumps also for any project, or sometimes for water also. Most of the appliances will have input in the input section for power supply of 12 volt for running it instead of mains connection. So this is about our first way to get free electricity at home. Now let's check the second method. The second method is not that we'll get free electricity in our home, but it is important for us to keep in mind that this kind of system should be there. This kind of system shall be there for protection of appliances and as well as human protection. So we can see that the concept is earthing. So earthing is a safety thing that we do in our house and ensure to keep our home safe. So the first main point starts from the transformer. So as we can see, this is the transformer. Transformer inputs up to 11 kilovolt, that is 11,000 volt, using 3 wires, that is the high voltage in this section. And next thing is that this transformer converts from 11 kilovolt to 220 volt into 3, that is 3 phase 415 volt with a neutral, and the neutral also contains phase when the neutral is not connected to the ground, right? If it is connected to the ground, then it becomes neutral. So from the transformer output we get 3 phase plus neutral, and the earthing is obtained from the ground surfaces based on the copper pipe or any other type of earthing. So this phase goes to the meter, and we get in our home supply, right? And first let us know the definition of earth or its principle. Earth provides a low resistance path for fault, leak current to flow safety back to the source. This circuit completes it, appliances run, the reverse current goes and goes back to the transformer through ground. So then transformer inputs to the meter, and meter's phase neutral goes to home. Through phase neutral the appliances run efficiently. Although we can run some appliances using earth, but we don't get 100% efficiency. That is due to the neutral is most efficient, but the earth, whereas it is used to send the reverse current which is leaked on the iron bodies of any appliances. So as we can see from meter to house, and here example of washing machine is given. So this washing machine, after keeping phase and neutral P and N, after keeping phase and neutral, some kind of leak current we can find on its metal body, that is due to its compressors separate any leakage or any circuit boards. But if the earth is connected, then the current goes ground, and if a human touches it, then he or she doesn't get any shock. And here the earthing, this is the earthing rod which is placed in most of our houses to ensure getting earth. So this earthing is overall our ground, below the ground. We can take from anywhere, but that is based on the distance of transformer we see, and it may be of copper or any GI pipe. So as I said, appliances can run on earth, but it is not efficient and not safe also, because if we use earth to run any appliances, then the reverse current, we do not get any path to send a reverse current. But appliances run perfectly and it is safe, also efficient, if we use phase 220 volt or 415 volt and neutral as 0 volt. So as we can see here, line, that is earthing keeps you safe, protects equipment and stabilizes the electrical system. So now as we see here, the concept of earthing: a copper pipe is installed deep in the ground in moist soil. It is permanently connected to the earthing conductor using a test link clamp. That is, if this is kept, and a pipe also should be placed to ensure the water enters the ground and keeps it humid or moist, such that the the earthing becomes strong. So this is about system of earthing. So this is not about any free way to get electricity, but it ensures that we are safe and our appliances also. Right, now the next, this is also the most used way and to get free electricity. So now we are going to see, so the synchronous motor. Synchronous motor is nothing but it it is very, it works on the principle of high torque and low rpm. So as we know that the as the torque increases, the rpm decreases. That is due to the interior mechanism of a synchronous motor. Synchronous motors are generally found in the cooler swing mode, also ACs. So this is used in coolers and ACs due to as its rpm is 5 to 6 per minute. So that is due to its interior mechanism, and it is used to make sure the appliances flaps swing slowly. So as we can see here, also we also know the similar to synchronous motor is dynamo motor, which generates three phase. Here also similarly, if we rotate this with using our hands, although the torque is very high, so we cannot rotate with our hands. If we use any string or any kind of motor we fix to it and give power supply, then from here three phase is generated. With this three phase we can run any of the appliances, especially bulbs and fans. So this voltage is not stable, it may differ. So you can use a stabilizer circuit of which is made up of capacitors and diodes to make sure the voltage is stable and the appliance doesn't get uh, uh, disrupted. So we can see that this gives output, and as we know the concept of three phase, here also the three phase doesn't require neutral, as its bond angle or the angle between them is 120 degrees. So directly we can run any of the appliances. So starter armature, this required the DC supply to rotate the shaft, and from the armature, that it generates three phase. So the supplied two stator are taken out as output when drives. When the shaft is driven, then only the output comes, or else there is 0 volt. So here we can see the diagram: DC field, excitation and poles. Based on the magnetic field we get output, and large diameter rotor, low rpm operation, silent pole design. So due to these kind of things we find high torque, and due to this, when we rotate this shaft, this makes sure to get output some voltage. The voltage operationally from 200 to 350 volt, it may differ based on the model or based on the winding or based on the number of poles, that is the magnetic field or that kind. So I'll show the image of our motors. So this is the dynamo motor, right? This is a dynamo motor. So as we can see, this also generated three phase, and we were speaking about this is the common motor used in house appliances such as coolers, ACs or any sort of flap swing things. So this is motor 5 to 6 rpm synchronous motor commonly used. In industries we may find this kind of motor which is of big and high power. So in this way we got to know today's video about the about two ways to get free electricity, and one way that is most mandatory and important in houses for safety as well as for electrical perfection, right? Thank you.